Alright guys, this is part 3, and part 3 we're going to pick up um, where part 2 left off, and that was the issue where I had drank some Drano. What I remember of that day, and it's still in my head, etched in my memory, back in the days, what I remember is I was 3 years old. I had been at home alone with my other 2 siblings. They were in other rooms at the time. My mom and dad were nowhere to be found. They weren't even at the house. They were out on the street doing drugs and things that they shouldn't have been doing when they should have been at home caring for us, their own kids. I had been crawling around on the floor for, it seemed like a long time, days. And I was in the kitchen on the floor, going through the cabinets. You know how kids nowadays crawl around on the floor in the kitchen? And they will open up the cabinets and start rummaging through things. Now they have child safety locks. Well, back then that wasn't available. I happened to get into some Drano, and I literally somehow got the bottle open, or the bottle wasn't very tight as it was, and started downing it. Well, it was many, many hours later that the cops had come in. Apparently, somebody in the neighborhood reported that they had heard crying in the house and reported it to police. The Dallas Police Department came in and found me lying almost dead in the kitchen, face down on the linoleum floor, almost dead. Picked me up, put me in the back seat of a cop car, and rushed me off to the hospital. Within, I don't know what happened after that, or what transpired after that, because I was out. I was very sick. I was pretty much near death. A lot of these scars here and all the way down my stomach are a result of that, having drank Drano as a child. I at the time had baby teeth, and a lot of those were damaged severely. I hadn't even lost my baby teeth. I'd barely even gotten them. It destroyed a lot of my gum tissue, a lot of the roots, and all that other stuff that goes on back down there, all the way down my throat, down to my stomach. The esophagus, all that was burnt out, all of that. They had to take, and have had to take pieces of my colon to dissect that and reposition it over the years, and have had to do that subsequent number of times to allow me to eat somewhat normally. Now, I still have problems, as most of you know, with my eating and being able to take in nourishment. But back on the Drano thing, I was, as a result of that, and you'll hear me saying this quite a bit, I was hurt, and from just that alone was damaged, for pretty much the rest of my life after that. I had, just from that one situation alone, I had problem after problem after problem occur after that. My teeth, my gums, my throat, my stomach, my esophagus, my voice. On top of that, I had scoliosis. I had to have rod instrumentation put in when I was young. I had so many other medical problems that arose as a direct result of my family's inability to take care of their own kids, take care of us as kids. So, again, the drinking the drano was a horrible, horrible situation for any family to go through. But I think the fact that maybe I'm giving too much credit to my mom, but my dad was a complete asshole. He still is. He was until he passed away in 2001. I have such awful memories of him and what he did to us as kids. I don't know if my brother Alvin even remembers any of this, but I remember it, up until, parental rights were finally terminated when I was, just, 3-4 years old. Let me back up for a minute. I said that, the Dallas police department came in and, literally pried me up off the floor and took me in the back of a police car and rushed me to the hospital. I don't even remember what hospital it was, but I do remember the police officer that did it, the guy's name that was in the report. And back in the early 90s, when I first became aware of who he was, I was able to actually track him down and find out where he was at the time. And at the time, he was a rookie. He was a rookie police officer with the Dallas Police Department. His name is Officer D.C. Martin. He, like I said, was just a rookie at the time. Didn't know who. Just starting his career and starting his work and starting to, work the streets and do what a law-abiding citizen would do. He's starting a new job. But the fact that I, was able to keep track or find out who he was, and at some point was able to meet him and find out who he was, and if he even remembered my story and the whole situation that took place, and he surprisingly knew and remembered it, because that it was something that he remembered from his rookie year, as a police officer. But Drano, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. I implore you, if you've got kids, lock those cabinets up. It'll be the best thing you could possibly do. I am in the situation that I'm in today because back then, child safety locks, I guess, were not available, or were not readily available to homeowners, and unfortunately, I paid the price for that, and I'm sure there's others that have paid a similar price as I have on situations like this.